Yeah, I mean, I think you're able to see, like, we haven't played a lot together. I think that was evident in terms of, like, Stewie just got here, and players have been kind of coming in and out and learning a new system at the same time. So it's been fun. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be, like, pretty tonight, but that wasn't really the point. The point was to kind of get out there, get some live competition, get, like, that game under our belt. We have a lot of players who have never played in the W, so I thought that was really exciting for their like opportunity to get out in front of like an amazing crowd and just play. And you're able to see like after first quarter, second quarter, like everyone settled in a little bit, and I thought it was exciting to see. Like we were all really happy for them, all the players that were able to get in, and for us, I mean, it's an opportunity to finally play against somebody else. We've been going against ourselves and the guys for so long, so obviously like we'll be able to watch a lot of good film and continue to build. That's the whole point.
Sabrina, how do you describe Han's progression, and how do you think people were able to see how much she's grown?
Yeah, I mean, like first I'd give all the credit to her because she's put the work in. You know, I played with her a few years ago here, and she was so talented, but she was so young in terms of like understanding the game. I mean, we're not that far off in age, but in terms of just like understanding like the physicality, how to play, the language barrier, like it's hard, and you're able to see. Like I watched her interview with you guys, and I'm just like, I was so impressed because it's like she's grown, she's matured, she's like understands the game so much more. You're able to talk through what you see, whereas a few years ago, like I couldn't really tell her what I wanted to on the floor because she wasn't understanding. So it was hard for her to be like that sponge of a quick learner. And now you're able to see she's gotten stronger, she's gotten quicker, her shot's even a lot better, her passing ability's gotten a lot better. And obviously a testament to like Coach Chris and the coaching staff. Like the moment he was hired, he was like, Han. And I was like, I love it, bring her back, because I've loved playing with her. But he did his research and watched all her games and knew how she would fit into the system, and I think everyone was able to see tonight like what the potential she has on this team.
What do you think of that big lineup with her, JJ, and Stewie?
It was the first time we saw it, was when you guys saw it, so it's fun. Like this is the opportunity to be able to kind of play with that. Like, you know, you're able to have a scrimmage game where you're able to see a big lineup and play along with it, see how it works, see what doesn't work. And I mean, they all can shoot, so that's the fun part of like everyone can kind of play around them. I mean, they're the biggest lineup probably in the league, in terms of all three of them together. So I think for us, it's going to be continuing to find opportunities to play them together and how they can help us get our best offensive execution.
Sabrina, as a big three of yourself, Jonquil, and Brianna, and Vargas on year 4 of your collaboration, what can you say this era has taught you about the concept of sacrifice?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. I mean, we all know that. That's why we all are still here and wanting to play with one another. Like, we understand what it takes to win and what it, takes to lose. Like, we felt both of those things before as a group, and that's kind of the nice part. It's like you've gone through a lot together, so you're able to just pick up where you left off and understanding what you have to sacrifice for the team. And it's always about the team first, and understanding what you need to do every single night, how you need to show up, be a pro. Everyone's leadership continues to grow, and knowing, what a blessing it is to wear Liberty jersey every single night, and how all these new players in our locker room that come through this organization, like we want to kind of make sure they understand that sense of pride that you are supposed to feel. And obviously us three kind of spearhead that as the leaders of the team, but everyone feels that.
You guys didn't take that many threes tonight. I guess I'm just curious, like how much of that was like what Indiana was like playing to what they were giving you, and were they taking away like the 3-point line?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they know we're a great shooting team, so every team is going to protect the 3-point line and the paint. Like that's obviously, what their goal is. And I think for us it was a little bit more of like everyone was trying to play really unselfish. I think we passed up on a lot of shots, which is a good problem to have, better than the alternative. But I'd say in the first game, like everyone had the mentality of wanting to like play into the offense and wanting to see how it's going to move. And I think that kind of made us stall a little bit, maybe second guess on some shots. And we didn't get down into the paint as fast as we used to. Our transition wasn't as crisp, but I feel like it's a positive, like it's learning experiences. Now we can go back and practice and be like, all right, these are the few things we need to clean up and improve on.
In the first quarter, most every possession started with Benijah in the kind of strong corner and getting interaction with her. What level of force does she initiating those early situations bring to the offense that maybe you didn't have last year, and how is it set up for her to succeed?
Yeah, well, it's the only play we've put in. So to be completely honest, it wasn't necessarily personnel based, but more just action based. Chris has done a really good job of not like overloading information, especially with us still missing a lot of players that are going to be on this team, and just slowly sprinkling things in and making sure everyone has a really good understanding. And so obviously we were just initiating with the corner, and she obviously is a matchup nightmare for a lot of guards because of her physicality and how well she is in the post, but also just her ability to shoot. And so I'd say that goes for almost all of our wings, like their length, their height. When Leo gets back, like her length, her shooting ability, it's kind of like a common thing with our theme with our wings. And so we're excited to kind of watch film and see how we could have continued to improve that.
I know it's out of your control about like who's here and who's available and stuff, but how does that maybe like complicate really settling into a new system when you are missing some important pieces?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not easy, especially because we're all trying to like learn the new system and understand our role and how it all works. But I'd say Chris has done just a really, really good job in terms of being really clear, understanding how it is we're all going to fit in, how it's supposed to look. And tonight it wasn't pretty. Like, we practice it feels really good, and then we got here and it was like, oh my gosh, like, you kind of get back to old habits. And that's the great part about the fact that it's so early on in the season. And he's kind of preached that it's not about being the best team now, it's about continuing to buy in and learn. And when the new players come in, they're not going to be overloaded with 30,000 plays that they have to learn on day one. We only have about 2, so they're kind of going to be able to pick up where we left off. Hopefully they can just fit right in seamlessly and continue to learn just like we have.
Building off that, is that something just like as you've gone throughout your career? I mean, it's pretty common for lots of players to have to arrive late to camp or to the season, just like with the W schedule. Is that just something like you guys are used to at this point? And what have you learned over the years about what it takes to, do that slow build, like the way that it just works out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you're always understanding, like, especially for our team, like we have a lot of international players, so a lot of players are always going to be coming back from there, and we had a younger team which they were allowed to be there and not here to start. And so I think it's just understanding, like, not getting too high or too low. And obviously there's expectations of wanting to start the season off strong and be at your peak, but I think the more you kind of go through these years, you understand, like, you don't want to peak the first day of camp, or the first day of the season. It's okay to still be trying to figure things out and play with matchups and let people kind of get flowing, and then you really want to peak at the right time, and that's really what's most important. So I think for me it's been kind of an adjustment, because in college you're so used to, like, first day you're like ironed, like everything's ironed out, you're ready, everyone's there. And here it's obviously different. Like, we don't know when those players are coming back. It's whenever they finish out there and they come join us, and then they have to learn, and everyone has to kind of embrace that. So it's been different, but I think it's something every team's used to in the W.
Sabrina, Annalee Maley, who actually was right over there, she's been sort of on the fringes of this league, and so I guess just how do you think with her performance this afternoon, she sort of made a statement about her belonging?
Yeah, well, I'd say the things that she does and what she brings to a team sometimes don't show up on a stat sheet, but they did tonight. And I'd say Coach Chris, like, really prides himself in the way that he coaches on the things that she does. Like, he loves rebounding, he loves hustle plays, he loves defense, he loves doing the little things that don't necessarily are like the who and the ha and like all that stuff. Like, he really loves that, especially out of role players. And so I feel like when he mentioned her name about coming to camp, like, she's that perfect fit because she does all those things. She's going to play hard, she's going to rebound, she's going to get to the basket. And I think you've been able to see through the years she's continued to grow her game overseas. She can score at all 3 levels. She's a big guard. She can defend. So to me, it was really exciting to be able to see that come out tonight, and her kind of just feel like she was flowing in her element, getting downhill, rebounding really well, and just doing the things that she's really good at.
Thanks, Ab.